My child, stop what you're doing and listen. You've ignored the whisper, so now I thunder. I am screaming. Listen now. This is not another gentle nudge. This is the cry of eternity breaking through your distractions. You have felt the trembling inside your spirit, the divine unrest that will not let you settle. That is me. I am calling you out of numbness, out of delay, out of the noise that has silenced my voice within you. What I speak now is not casual, it is critical. Heaven is leaning close, and your soul hangs in the balance. So listen, truly listen, before this moment passes you by. Can you hear me? Truly hear me. I have been calling your name, not with thunder or fire, but with the trembling softness of my spirit. You have felt it, that stirring in your chest that you could not explain, that whisper in the night that would not leave you alone. You thought it was only your mind, but it was me. I have been speaking through the ache that wakes you, through the beauty that suddenly moves you to tears, through the silence that unsettles you. My voice has never been gone. It has only been drowned beneath the noise you've allowed to take my place. You have filled your days with distractions, your heart with worries, your mind with endless voices, yet none of them satisfy. That emptiness you feel after chasing what the world calls success is the echo of my voice you've been ignoring. I am not far from you. I am pressing close, waiting for you to finally stop running long enough to listen. I have whispered to you in your joy and in your pain. When you stood in the light, I celebrated with you. When you fell into darkness, I knelt beside you. Every tear you thought no one noticed, I caught them. Every sigh you released when no one was around, I heard it as a prayer. But you brushed off my presence as coincidence. You said, it's just life, and I said, no, it's me. I have been the quiet voice asking you to slow down, to breathe, to remember who you are. Yet each time, the world's noise grew louder, and you turned away, believing I would always wait in silence. But hear me now. I am not whispering anymore. I am crying out, not in anger, but in urgency. Listen now. You have prayed for signs, and I have sent them. I spoke through doors that closed to protect you, through friendships that ended to free you, through moments that broke you so I could rebuild you. But you mistook my protection for rejection. You saw the collapse, not realizing I was preparing a foundation that would not crumble. My child, I have been in every moment you thought was lost. Nothing escaped my gaze, not even the thoughts you regret, not even the days you thought I was silent. I have been closer to you than your very breath, yet you have listened to everything but me. Now, I am lifting my voice above the clamor. I am breaking through the static, because the time for half-fearing has passed. My love for you is too fierce to remain quiet any longer. Hear me. I am not condemning you. I am calling you home, not later, not someday, but now. I am not whispering anymore. My voice is the ache in your heart, the pull on your spirit, the storm in your soul. I am screaming. Listen now. You thought I was silent, didn't you? You assumed my quiet meant absence, that I had turned away, that I no longer cared, that perhaps your prayers had become too repetitive, too unworthy for my attention. But I was never gone. My silence was never punishment, it was purpose. Every moment you felt abandoned was me drawing you deeper, teaching you to hear what cannot be heard by human ears. I was speaking, not through words, but through waiting. When you cried, where are you? I was right there beside you, watching your faith tremble but not break. I knew you would not understand the stillness, but I also knew that in it, something sacred was being formed, a faith that no noise could corrupt. My silence has weight because it holds the echo of my mercy. I held back my immediate answers so that you might learn to trust my unseen hand more than your visible outcomes. Every time you begged me to move, I was already working behind the veil, aligning what your eyes could not yet see. You have mistaken delay for denial, but I tell you, my child, not once did I forget your cry. The timeline you curse was the very space I used to mature you, to deepen you, to prepare you for what I promised. When you prayed for peace, I did not simply hand it to you. I led you through storms so you would know peace was not the absence of struggle but the awareness of my presence within it. When you prayed for strength, I did not remove the burden. I stood beside you and let the weight shape your spirit. I was silent because I was sculpting you. My silence was not neglect, it was design. I could have answered instantly, yes. I could have given you the solution you wanted. But then you would have missed the greater miracle, the transformation within you. You see, I do not simply want to fix your circumstances, I want to form your character. I do not want to merely remove your pain. I want to reveal your purpose through it. The weight of my silence was never to crush you but to awaken something in you that noise could never grow. Listen now, every moment you thought I was distant, I was actually closest. I was not ignoring you. I was protecting you from premature blessings, from outcomes that would have destroyed you before you were ready. My silence was the sound of preparation, not rejection. And now, my child, as you begin to listen again, you will understand. Even when I seemed quiet, I was still speaking, still loving, still leading you home. The storm is not your enemy. It is my voice breaking through your walls. You have prayed for peace, but I have sent a storm, because peace that comes too soon can leave you unchanged. I am the roar behind the thunder, the whisper within the wind, the power shaking what you thought was unshakable. Every disruption in your life is not chaos. It is construction. I am tearing down what you built without me, so I can rebuild it with purpose. When everything you leaned on began to crumble, you thought you were being punished, but you were being purified. I am the force shaking the ground beneath your feet because I will not allow you to build your life on sand. You prayed for me to speak, and I am speaking through the very storm you asked me to take away. Listen, my child, not all storms are meant to destroy, some come to deliver. When the winds rise, do not run from them. Stand still and know that I am God. The thunder that frightens you is my declaration that I am still in control. You may not understand why the winds blow so fiercely, but I do. I am shaking loose what cannot remain. I am removing what you've outgrown, even if it feels like loss. The relationships that ended, the plans that failed, the moments that broke you, they were all part of my divine interruption. For too long, you have trusted your comfort more than my command. But I love you too much to let comfort become your prison. The storm is not evidence of my absence. It is the proof of my nearness. My spirit is moving through it, breaking chains you could never break on your own. You keep asking me to quiet the winds, but I ask you to listen within them. My roar is not one of wrath, but of love that refuses to leave you where you are. I'm calling you out of shallow faith into deeper waters. The same power that stirs the sea now stirs your soul. You will not drown. I am the hand that steadies you when the waves rise too high. Remember this: storms pass, but what they awaken in you remains. My roar does not come to destroy, it comes to awaken. Do not fear the shaking. It is my voice breaking through the noise, declaring once and for all, you are mine, and I will not stop until you hear me clearly. You keep straining your ears for my voice in the loud and dramatic, but I am not always where you expect me to be. I do not compete with the world's shouting. I dwell in the quiet spaces you often overlook. You chase prophecies, signs, and wonders, thinking that louder means clearer. But my true voice often comes as a whisper meant for the soul, not the senses. You've been searching the sky for thunder, when all along, I have been speaking from within your heart. I am the stillness between your thoughts, the pause between your fears. I am not hidden. I am simply waiting for you to stop filling the silence with your own noise. My child, I am not a god of confusion. I am the voice that brings calm to your chaos. Yet, you keep running from quiet because it exposes the noise within. You say you cannot hear me, but you have not given me the stillness in which I speak. I am in the gentle conviction that presses on your heart when you are about to make the wrong choice. I am in the moment when you feel peace about something that makes no sense to anyone else. That is me, the whisper that steadies, the nudge that redirects, the presence that does not shout but transforms. My voice is not found in frenzy, but in focus. If you truly want to hear me, you must learn to value silence. Turn off the noise, not just the external noise of the world, but the internal noise of worry, fear, and endless self-judgment. I am speaking, but my frequency is peace, and only a surrendered heart can tune in. When you finally quiet the world around you, you will realize I was never far. Every breath you take carries my rhythm. Every sunrise carries my reminder that I am faithful still. The reason you could not hear me was not because I stopped speaking, but because you stopped resting. My voice is not always a command. Sometimes it is simply the assurance that I am here. I do not need to shout to prove my power. My whisper alone carries the authority of creation. Listen, my beloved. In the stillness, you will find me again. And when you do, you will discover that my whisper carries more power than all the world's noise combined. So, silence the chaos. Come close. The world screams, but I speak softly, because I am already near. You do not yet understand the depth of my love for you. It is not a passive love, not one that watches quietly while you give your heart away to things that cannot hold it. My love burns, it consumes, it longs, it weeps. I am jealous, not in the small and human way, but in the holy, unrelenting way that only a creator can be for his creation. I made you to walk with me, to breathe in rhythm with me, to find your joy in my presence. Yet you keep giving yourself to substitutes, fleeting pleasures, fragile people, empty pursuits that promise fulfillment but leave you hollow. You chase affirmation, recognition, control, and comfort as if they can complete you. But every time you return empty, it is because your soul knows what it was made for. Me. I do not want part of you. I want all of you. Your laughter and your tears, your strength and your scars, your fears and your dreams. You belong to me, and that truth will never change, no matter how far you wander. Do you know why you feel restless, why the things you chase never satisfy? Because I have placed eternity inside you, and nothing temporary can fill it. You have tried to numb that ache, to silence that inner call, but it keeps returning, doesn't it? That is the cry of your soul remembering me. And yes, I am jealous for it. For every moment you forget that I am the one who sustains your heartbeat. My jealousy is not anger that seeks to punish. It is love that refuses to lose you to lesser things. I watch you love what cannot love you back, and my heart breaks. I see you running after shadows, and I call out, not to shame you, but to bring you home to the light. You may call it conviction, but it is truly the sound of my love fighting for you. Every time I remove something from your life that you thought you needed, it is because I am reclaiming what belongs to me. I will not allow idols to keep what I formed in my image. You have said, why would you take this from me? And I whisper, because it took you from me. I am not content to love you from a distance, I will chase you through every distraction, through every disappointment, through every wilderness until your heart hears mine again. You are made to be known by me, completely, intimately, eternally. And until you rest in that truth, you will always feel incomplete. So, when you feel my pull, do not resist it. That is my jealous love calling your name, saying, "Come back to me, my beloved." Nothing in this world will ever love you like I do. You cannot heal what you refuse to face. You ask me for peace, but peace cannot dwell in a house built on denial. My child, I am shining a light into the corners you've tried to keep hidden, not to expose you for shame, but to free you through truth. You keep asking me to remove the pain, but I am first uncovering its root. You've covered your wounds with busyness, with pride, with smiles that don't reach your soul, but I see beneath it all. I know the fear you carry, the fear that if you are fully seen, you will not be loved. But hear me now, I already see you. Every hidden thought, every buried memory, every quiet regret, I have seen it all, and still I call you mine. You do not have to hide from the one who formed you. You cannot shock me with your sin or surprise me with your weakness. I have already seen the worst of you, and I have already chosen you. That is what truth looks like in my kingdom. Love that remains, even after the unveiling. When I confront you with truth, it is not to condemn but to cleanse. My conviction is the doorway to your freedom. Every lie you've believed about yourself, that you are too broken, too late, too unworthy, must die in the light of my truth. I am tearing down false identities built from pain. You are not what they called you. You are not what you did. You are who I say you are, redeemed, chosen, beloved. But I cannot heal what you continue to hide. The truth may sting, but it is the only medicine that works. When you finally allow my light to reach the places you've buried, healing begins to flow like water over dry ground. You have asked me to bless you, but I am first calling you to honesty. To stand before me without masks, without excuses, without the need to appear strong. I do not need your perfection. I desire your surrender. Come to me with your truth, and I will meet you with grace. Do not be afraid of my light. It does not come to destroy you, but to deliver you. I am stripping away the lies, not to leave you exposed, but to leave you free. And when you stand in that freedom, you will finally know what love feels like, not love you earn, but love that endures because it is rooted in truth. You have come to the edge of yourself, haven't you? The strength you once trusted has crumbled, and the control you fought to keep has slipped through your hands. You whisper, "I can't do this anymore." And I whisper back, "Good, now let me." My grace begins where your ability ends. I never asked you to carry what I already died to lift. You have been trying to survive through effort, through performance, through sheer willpower, but that is not how grace works. Grace is not earned, it is received. It meets you not in your triumph, but in your breaking. You think you are failing, but you are falling, and you are falling into my arms. Do not fear the breaking. It is holy ground where your striving ends, and my strength begins. I see your exhaustion, the nights you've cried in secret, the mornings you forced yourself to keep going. You've carried burdens you were never meant to bear. You said, "I can't take one more thing," and yet more has come. But listen, none of it has come to destroy you. It has come to bring you to me. You cannot taste the fullness of my grace while you still believe you can save yourself. That's why I've allowed certain doors to close, certain plans to fail, certain supports to fall away, because only when you reach the end of yourself will you reach the beginning of me. You do not need to be strong enough. You only need to be surrendered enough. I know how fragile you feel, but this breaking is not your ending. it is your rebirth. My grace is not fragile, it is fierce. It moves into the wreckage and builds something eternal. You say, I am falling apart, and I say, you are falling into grace. Every piece that breaks becomes a place for my glory to shine through. You are not disqualified by your weakness, you are qualified by it. My strength is made perfect there, in your tears, in your surrender, in your honesty. So, let yourself break. Let the striving cease. You were never meant to carry the world, you were meant to carry my presence. And when you finally stop fighting to hold yourself together, you will discover that I have been holding you all along. This is grace, not the absence of pain, but the presence of me within it. I'm home. That is the cry resounding through everything I've been saying to you. Come home to me. You have wandered so far, believing you could survive on pieces of me scattered across moments, sermons, and songs. But I am not calling you to fragments of faith. I am calling you to full restoration. You have tried to fill your emptiness with everything but my presence, and yet the ache remains. You looked for belonging in people who could not see the depth of your soul, but I see it. I always have. You have mistaken distance for freedom, but true freedom is not found away from me, it is found in me. I do not call you back with anger, but with longing. I am not waiting to scold you, but to hold you. I never closed the door, you did. But even as you walked away, I kept the light burning, waiting for the sound of your footsteps returning. And now I whisper and thunder at once, come back to me. You say, I've gone too far, but you could never go beyond the reach of my mercy. You say, I've done too much, but my blood already covered it. You say, I don't know how to return, but I will guide you step by step. All I need is your yes. Bring me the pieces, even the shattered ones, and I will make them whole. Stop trying to clean yourself up before coming. You cannot wash away your own stains. Let me do it. The return is not about perfection. It's about surrender. You do not need to come with eloquent prayers or impressive deeds. Just come honestly. Come with your pain, your weariness, your confusion. I will meet you there. The moment your heart turns toward me, heaven rejoices. The angels do not celebrate your achievements. They celebrate your return. You think it must be complicated, but it's as simple as one breath, one whisper, I'm coming home. I am not far. I am right behind you, waiting for you to turn. You've mistaken the weight of conviction for rejection, but that pull in your spirit is my love drawing you near. You are not too late. You have not missed your chance. I am still the same God who welcomed the prodigal, who restored the broken, who healed the unworthy. You are mine. Always have been. Always will be. So come, not halfway, not in hesitation. Come running into the arms that have never closed. Your seat at my table is still waiting. Do not fear the fire, for I am in it with you. You look at the flames around your life and cry, why, God? But what you see as destruction, I see as purification. I am not burning you, I am refining you. Every trial, every heartbreak, every loss you have faced has been part of my holy fire removing what cannot stay. You prayed for more of me, and I answered by consuming what was standing between us. My fire is not punishment, it is preparation. I burn away fear so faith can grow. I burn away pride so humility can shine. I burn away the false so that only the eternal remains. Do not confuse comfort with blessing, for sometimes my greatest blessings are disguised as flames. You have said, everything is being taken from me. But, my child, I am not taking, I am transforming. The gold does not curse the fire that refines it, for it knows that without the heat, its impurities would remain hidden. You, too, must walk through this refining because I love you too much to leave you unpurified. When you feel the flames licking at the edges of your heart, do not run. Lean into me. I am the fire that does not consume but renews. Remember Moses. I spoke to him from a bush that burned but was not destroyed. That same presence burns within you now. I am igniting purpose, holiness, and power in your life. The things that are being stripped away are not your destruction. They are your deliverance. You have cried out, "This hurts too much," and I heard you. But listen closely. Growth always requires a letting go. I know the pain of pruning. I bore the fire of sacrifice myself. I am not indifferent to your tears. They are sacred in my sight. But if you could see what I see, you would thank me for the flames. When the fire has done its work, you will rise, purer, stronger, more radiant with my glory. Do not fear being refined. Fear remaining unchanged. Let the fire do its holy work, and when you emerge, the world will see not your scars but my reflection shining through you. This is not the end. It is your awakening through flame. Listen closely, because this is the moment I remind you who you are. You have worn too many names that I never gave you. Failure, unworthy, forgotten, broken. The world, your past, and even your own thoughts have tried to define you. But I am calling you back to your true name, the one I spoke before you ever took your first breath. You are mine. You were not born by accident or mistake. Every detail of your being carries my fingerprint. I did not just create you. I designed you with purpose, intention, and divine significance. You have spent years trying to fit into molds that were never meant for you, comparing your journey to others, doubting the calling I placed within you. But hear me now. You are not ordinary. I placed my spirit within you, and that makes you eternal. The enemy has tried to bury your identity under shame and fear. He has whispered lies, convincing you that you are too far gone, too flawed to be used. But those lies crumble in the light of my truth. You were chosen before the foundations of the world. You were set apart for such a time as this. I did not die to make you better. I died to make you new. You are no longer a slave to sin, to opinion, or to fear. You are my child, my vessel, my image bearer. When I look at you, I do not see your past. I see my purpose fulfilled through your surrender. You are not the sum of your mistakes. You are the reflection of my mercy. Wake up, beloved. Rise from the slumber of self-doubt. Shake off the labels others have placed on you. You have been hiding behind excuses, saying, "I'm not ready," or "I'm not enough." But I say you are exactly who I called you to be. I have placed gifts within you that the world needs. You were not meant to simply survive. You were meant to shine. My spirit lives in you, and it is time for that truth to awaken. Do not measure your worth by what you've lost or what others see. Measure it by what I have declared. You are chosen. You are royal. You are mine. So walk as one who carries heaven within. When you remember who you are in me, the darkness loses its hold. You are not lost, you are awakening. Look around you, at the ruins, the shattered dreams, the remnants of what once was, and listen carefully, for I am speaking in the midst of what looks broken. You see ashes, I see the beginning of beauty. You see endings, I see foundations. Nothing in your life is wasted when it is placed in my hands. Every failure, every heartbreak, every collapsed hope is a stone in the rebuilding I am doing within you. You think too much has been lost, but I am the God who restores what time and sin have stolen. I do not rebuild as man rebuilds. I do not simply patch what is broken. I create a new, stronger, wiser, and unshakable. When you cry over what once stood, I weep with you, but I also begin to speak life into the ruins. For I am not a God of endings. I am a God of resurrection. I know the devastation you feel. I saw the moments when what you loved fell apart in your hands. I heard the prayers that went unanswered, the dreams that faded. But child, hear me now. I never left the ruins. While you were grieving what was lost, I was laying the blueprint for what will rise. The destruction was not your final chapter. It was the clearing of ground for something eternal. My rebuilding is not rushed. It is holy. I take time, because what I am constructing in you must endure storms yet to come. When you look at your broken places and see failure, I see future strength. Every scar you carry will one day tell a story of my faithfulness. So let me build again. Hand me the fragments. Stop trying to fix what only I can resurrect. I do not despise your ruins. I dwell among them. It was among ruins that I rebuilt my people, among ashes that I breathed my spirit. Do not be afraid if the process feels slow. Rebuilding requires trust. The ground must be cleared, the foundation relaid, and in each step, I am there. One day, what you see as wreckage will become a testimony that others find hope in. You will walk through what you once wept over and say, "He was faithful." You will see that the ruin was not your undoing. It was your beginning. And when I finish, the glory of the latter house will be greater than the former. Listen, obedience is not about control. It is about alignment. When you obey me, you come into rhythm with the heartbeat of heaven. Every yes you give me sends ripples through eternity, unlocking blessings you cannot yet see. You often ask for miracles, yet you hesitate when I whisper instructions. But the miracles you seek are hidden behind the obedience you resist. You want revelation without surrender, favor without faithfulness, destiny without discipline. Yet my power moves through obedience, not because I demand it, but because I designed it that way. Your obedience is not a chain. It is a key. It unlocks peace where there was confusion, provision where there was lack, purpose where there was wandering. Every time you choose to trust me over your fear, heaven moves on your behalf. I know obedience is not easy. It requires faith when sight would be more comfortable. It calls you to take steps that make no sense to your logic. But faith was never meant to make sense, it was meant to make way. When I ask you to forgive, to release, to wait, or to go, I am not testing your loyalty. I am preparing your breakthrough. The very act of obedience invites me to show you my power in ways you've never known. Think of the moments when I called others before you. No building, the ark before rain, Abraham leaving everything familiar, Peter stepping out of the boat. None of them knew the outcome, but all of them knew my voice, and their obedience echoed across generations. Yours will too. You have delayed, second-guessed, and tried to negotiate with me. Yet even now, I call again, not with condemnation, but with promise. Obedience will cost you, yes, but disobedience will cost you more. For every time you withhold your yes, you delay the life I have already prepared for you. Trust me enough to move when I speak. Do not wait for perfect timing. Your step of faith creates it. My commands are never random. They are the map that leads to your destiny. And when you obey, even in trembling, the heavens take notice. Your yes today will become someone else's answered prayer tomorrow. So, listen carefully, my child. Your obedience carries an echo far beyond this moment. Can you feel it? The thunder rolling in your spirit. That's my love speaking louder than your fear. I am not shouting to frighten you. I am roaring to awaken you. My love does not whisper passively. It shakes mountains, breaks chains, and calls the dead to life. You have mistaken my loudness for anger, but it is passion. My thunder is the sound of eternity pursuing you. Every heartbeat you have ever felt is my voice repeating the same truth. I love you. Not because of what you've done, but because of who you are mine. You have run, doubted, hidden, resisted, yet my love has followed through every valley and shadow. When you tried to silence it, I thundered louder because I refused to lose you to the noise of the world. I have seen you at your lowest, when you believed no one cared, when you sat in the dark convincing yourself you were unworthy of being loved. Yet even then my love surrounded you like a storm that would not pass. You thought it would fade. Instead, it grew stronger. The same voice that spoke creation into being still speaks your name with the same power. My love is not fragile. It is relentless. It is the storm that tears down walls, the wind that clears the path, the lightning that reveals what you could not see in the dark. Do not fear it, welcome it. For when my love thunders, it does not destroy, it awakens what has slept inside you for too long. You keep asking me, why do you love me like this? And I answer, because you are mine. Nothing can undo that. Not your failures, not your doubts, not your distance. My love does not tire. It does not quit. It does not wait for you to be perfect. It reaches into your chaos and says, even here. Every time you fall, my love rushes in faster than your guilt can speak. You cannot out-sin, outrun, or out-hide my love, for it is infinite, immeasurable, and unchanging. I am the thunder above your storms and the whisper beneath your tears. I am the love that refuses to be silenced. And now, as I speak, know this truth. I have not stopped calling, not stopped reaching, not stopped loving. My thunder rolls across eternity declaring one truth above all others. You are mine, and I will never let you go. Amen.